Hi folks, welcome to a brand new Fenland angling adventure and welcome to a new river season. Although the season doesn't start till tomorrow morning, I've got here a day early as I always have done over the years. Set my tent up, cut out the lilies, cut out the reeds on the bank, baited up. I've baited on the far side for carp and I've baited on sort of near side for bream and tench. I baited up a swim last night but somebody was in my swim when I got there today, so I missed out on that one. But I've baited a new swim and I'm confident anyway. I've caught here in the winter, so should catch here in the summer as well. I did a video in this swim in sort of around about Christmas time when I had a couple of bream and a couple of tench, so hope for a repeat of that, and maybe a carp would be a nice bonus. It's a really nice evening now. So I got here at 2 o'clock and didn't get the swim that I wanted. So the other guy was keen. So I've got another 5 hours before I can officially put a bait out. I wouldn't dream of putting one out early now. Maybe 5 minutes early, who knows. There's fish moving and topping about anyway, so it looks like being a good night. Come on, fish. I've been planning this trip for about 6 months and I'm really excited now. Finally here, the new river season. I do love me river fishing. 3 months with no river fishing is a nightmare. I've booked the next 10 Wednesdays off work, so I hope to be doing a bit of chub fishing on the River Cam as well as fishing my local river here in Ely, the River Ouse of course. I did a bit of fishing in the close season at Rossall Pit, but I didn't really catch a lot, so I didn't do any filming. So hopefully the river will produce a bit more than the Rossall Pit did. Plenty of fish moving about. Time for a drink, I think. Right folks, like I say, I'll be fishing 2 rods tonight. On one rod I shall be fishing about a quarter of the way across with a ground bait feeder rod. I shall be using cage feeder on 6-pound line straight through. Cage feeder on a fixed paternoster. Size 12 or 14 hook I believe. And I've got worms, maggots, sweet corn for hook bait and a few soft hookable pellets as well. And my ground bait is basically, I've got some old bream ground bait I found in the shed, and I've also made my own liquidised brown bread crusts. Lovely. And in that I've got some sweet corn, some 2.5mm pellets and some dead maggots. I've also spotted some bait near that island as you saw earlier, hoping for a carp maybe. I must admit I'm not really a carp fisherman, so I haven't put a lot of bait out. I just put a bit of bait out and put a rod out there and hope for the best. But on my carp rod I've got like, 15-pound line, got a lead clip system, fluorocarbon hook length, double krill boilie, and we'll see how that gets on. I might put a PVA bag on there with some bait in as well. Chuck that in when it's around about midnight. And that would be nice, a bonus carp. So that's my setup. Now I'm going to show you how I made my carp bait yesterday. So folks, as well as doing my usual feeder fishing on the opening weekend of the season, I hope to be doing a bit of carp fishing on the river as well. And for that I'm going to need to spot out quite a bit of bait. I'll probably spot some out maybe Friday night and then Saturday night and fish through Saturday night into Sunday morning. So for my main spod mix, I've got some nice pigeon seed that I've had for quite a few years now. It keeps forever till it's cooked, then you have to think about freezing it obviously. Quite a lot of that, nice and cheap. Carp are supposed to love it. There's all sorts in there, corn, chickpeas, like small beans, wheat, sunflower seeds anyway, all sorts in there. That's been soaking in cold water for a couple of days, but I'm going to boil it up in a minute. And also 4.5mm green betaine pellets and some 4.5mm premium coarse pellet as well. All fish love a pellet. Also I've got a few krill boilies I'm going to chop up. Probably use them on the hook as well. So like I say, I've had this soaking for a couple of days in cold water just to make it swell up a bit in preparation before cooking it. I'm going to boil it up now. That can make the kitchen smell a bit bad, and my family don't like the smell of it. So I've invented a system that will take the smell away, hopefully. I'll show you that in a minute, so let's go and look at it and see if it works. Right then folks, this is my invention. Basically it's just a bathroom extractor fan with a lead and a plug, obviously, and a ducting on the back which goes out through the window. I made this wooden frame with a hole in it, just the right size for that to sit in above the pan. I've got an extraction hood in the kitchen, but it's only a filter one. It doesn't take the smell or the steam out of the kitchen, so it's not very good in this case. So let's see if this works, because that's getting hot now. Had it on the boil for about 10 minutes. Put loads of salt in with it. You could flavour it, I suppose, with what you like. I've just put some salt in it, so let's see if it works. Of course it works. It worked in rehearsal anyway. Lovely. Right, it's nearly dark outside and it's absolutely teeming down. In fact, it hasn't stopped raining throughout the start of June. It's been terrible. I think the first weekend of the season has been forecast quite nice, so hopefully we'll have a better time. So while it's raining and while this is cooking, I'm going to go out and get some lobworms off the lawn, because if I can't catch carp on Saturday night, hopefully I'll catch bream or tench on the worms. Alright, let's leave it. Right, half an hour on the lawn, in the middle of the night, in the rain. Has paid dividends. Got a nice little tub of lobworms, about half an hour's work. Cut them into sections, chop them up and put them in a bit of ground bait in a feeder, and use small sections on the hook. Devastating. As for my seed that I was cooking, not sure this is quite done, but the kitchen was getting overrun with steam, so the extractor fan wasn't really enough to take all the steam away once it really got boiling. So it might be back to the drawing board on that one. I think in the future I'll have to just cook it here in the shed with a little gas stove. But I imagine that's almost done actually. If I leave that stewing overnight in that water, put the lid on, I think that will be probably cooked enough for when I need it. And I'll keep the water and use that for my ground bait. Roll on Saturday night, Sunday morning. Just over 1 hour to midnight. I don't think I can wait any longer. But the cathedral looks nice. Right folks, it's about 20 past 12. I've had a couple of little bites on the ground bait feeder rod. Had quite a good bite on worm, but I was messing about with a boilie rod at the time, so I missed that bite. Oh, I'm getting a few bleeps on the boilie. I had double boilie on to start with. I had a lot of line bites, so I thought maybe they're bream, so I'll put a different hook length on, and just with a single boilie. Oh, then I had quite a good slow sort of take, and moths missed that. It was a bit of a slow take, so really slow, like something had caught on the line and was pulling it through, so that's probably what it was. But I'm getting a few bleeps on single boilie as well, so maybe I'll pick up a bream on the boilie, but I'm not really doing any good on the ground bait feeder rod. Like I say, I had a good bite on worm and the odd one bite on sweet corn and one on maggot, but it's gone dead. Hopefully that'll pick up. I'm going to have another cup of tea in a minute and keep persevering with the boilie rod as well. The old carps, if they're about. It's not as good as I thought it would be, but it might pick up. For the first night of the river season, it's still exciting, if nothing else. I'll keep at it anyway. So that's the report from the tent at the moment. Right folks, it's about 1 o'clock now. I just caught a small eel on a double maggot on my feeder rod, which wasn't really welcoming. I don't like eels, but I managed to get the hook back. It was only lip hooked, which is quite a rarity when it comes to eels. Then I caught a small bream, about 1 3/4 pounds as well, on a worm section on the same feeder rod. Might have been a hybrid actually. So it's something anyway, picking up a bit. I'm starting to get tired and I'm out of wine gums. I think I've had about 3 or 4 little bream, about £1 each, not great. A few little bleeps on the boilie rod, but no real takes. I'm going to call it a night now, get a bit of sleep and try and get up about 6 o'clock and fish in the morning, see if I can get anything decent. But I think the full moon's killed it tonight, and the 2 weeks of non-stop chilly rain that we've had probably hasn't done it any favours, but still only the first night of the season, so can't expect to catch too much, I guess. Get into it slowly. I've still enjoyed it, it's been really good fun. All the preparation and all the excitement. But who knows what tomorrow brings. So I'll see you in the morning. Good morning folks, it's about 6:15 in the morning. It's quite chilly now. Had a few hours sleep, but I'm still tired. Didn't get much in the night. About 3 or 4 skimmers and one eel. So got the rods back out this morning, and it's real bright and sunny, as you can see. So I don't think we'll catch any decent bream now. They don't tend to feed much in the sunshine, but there's always a chance that we might get a nice tench or a few decent rudd. What a lovely day. June the 16th, magic. Right, just had a couple of fish, one on each rod. Got this little fellow on a maggot on the feeder rod. Looks like a little hybrid actually. Put him back. And I know I said I wouldn't catch a bream in the sunshine, well I have. Not a bad bream for been alright on the feeder rod, but didn't really know I had it on the boilie. Didn't give me much of a fight on the boilie on my carp rod. £4 3 ounce. Not a bad fish. Let's put her back, or him. We're gonna go back. A bit shallow here, so it's difficult to get the net out from under a fish. And back it goes. Thank you. Just caught a little rudd. The second one I've had this morning. One of my favourite fish, but it would be nice if it was a bit bigger. The breams seem to have gone off the feed now, but I've still got the feeling that something great is going to happen today. Another little rod, about £1/4. Lovely. Just had another little bream. This time on the feeder rod, on a bit of worm. Not massive, but good little scrap. £2 13 ounce, 14 ounce actually. Oh. Bream. Fish that you can't catch in the sunshine. Unless it's magical June the 16th. All I need now is a tench. But I've just caught another bream, £3.5. I actually foul hooked it in the pectoral fin, and it gave me the fight of my life. It went down the river and in the lilies. Thought it was a carp, honestly, or a big tench. They've got so much power when you foul hook them, but it's still a good fish, so it counts even though it's a foul hooker. Let's get back in there. Right, so I'm just returning the fish that I caught in the night. Let my net dry out and then I'll carry on for another hour or two before I go home. Oop. This little bream about a pound. I think that's it. There's one more. My rod's going. Right folks, we've come to the end of my first Fenland angling adventure for this new river season. Got stuff to do, so I've got to go home. It's only about 12 o'clock, but I've had a good session here. I've been here since 2 o'clock yesterday, but obviously didn't fish till midnight-ish. Wasn't a great night. I knew the full moon wouldn't do it any favours, but it was quite a good morning. Caught 3 nice bream, biggest 4 pound on a boilie. I think I might come back Wednesday and I'll probably fish the island again, but I'll just fish pellets rather than boilies. I might catch more bream that way and maybe pick up the odd carp. Didn't get my carp last night, but didn't really expect that. There was a guy fishing next swim down, he was carping all night. I don't think he caught any. Caught some bream, but no carp. So it's been quite a good morning. And now it's a nice day, although it's going to rain shortly, so I'm going to head off and try and get packed up before it teams down on me. So I hope you've liked the video folks. If you have, please hit the thumbs up button, give me a like, that would be very much appreciated. And maybe I'll see you Wednesday. If not here, maybe I'll be up the Cam chub fishing. I'll give it 5 minutes and I'm going to bring my rods in. But I'll see you on the next trip.